Hey everyone, and welcome to our last episode from the Comic Cave with the best co-host ever, Liam.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so what's been up?
Nothing's been up.
Okay, well it seems fitting that I'll be doing the comic prize giveaways in this show. So if you've commented on the last two videos, then your name is in here and you're in with a chance for one of the three prizes. So I'll do a live draw later. Thank you for joining me for my weekly comic and entertainment show that focuses on what's happened in the geek multiverse this week. I might have to skip next week's show because I'll be moving, but if there is a big news story, I will try and do a short clip to keep you updated and informed. So if you haven't visited here yet, you have another 4 days to get here and check it out. This is the exhibition I put up over the summer to showcase the world's largest Deadpool collection, where all the funds raised went to two local charities, Esker House and Dogs Trust Island. It's been pretty awesome getting to chat and chill out with other Deadpool fans and people from the surrounding areas. Okay, I was hoping to have Ryan Reynolds or people involved in the production of Deadpool 3 come visit, but I get it. With everything going on, they've been crazy busy. But the invitation is still there. Just reach out. Okay, so on the show this week, we have to talk about some comic spec because I've seen some issues going for ridiculous prices in the last 2 weeks. I was surprised because I thought the writer's strike and the current economic climate might have put a damper on comic sales, but it looks like people are on the hunt again and figured this is a good time to get in on those key issues cheap before the market skyrockets again. So I've got a few picks of characters and issues to look out for, and of course I will keep you up to date with the news stories that broke this week. Just stick around for after the intro and we can get right into it. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I will try and keep the episode this week to around 10 minutes. So our top story would have to be, are we getting a soft reboot for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And it's a real possibility after Secret Wars. So what we know so far is that Kevin Feige has gotten quite a bit of criticism that it's too hard for a newbie to get into watching Marvel content, just because everything is interlinked and people might feel slightly lost. So this would give new viewers a chance to get in and a new jumping off point for them. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the concept of a reboot, it happens relatively often in comics. A reboot is like something we saw in the new Flash movie, where they find a loophole to start everything over again and give characters new origin storylines. A full reboot is kind of like a clean slate where dead characters come back to life and things start all over like nothing in the past ever really happened. This would have its merits because we could finally see the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and Spider-Man all interacting with each other in the same timeline, which is something we've never really seen before. And that would be quite amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. A soft reboot is where certain parts of the old storyline are retained and others changed to fit the new narrative. And that's possibly what will happen here because people are quite invested in certain characters, and it'll also be up to the actors if they want to come back in those iconic roles, like Chris Evans, Captain America, or Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. I know Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier is supposed to appear in Secret Wars. We heard he was going to be in Deadpool 3 first, but this might be part of the MCU's soft reboot and finally closure on the Fox vs. X-Men. Personally, I love movies like Shang-Chi, but certain storylines have been done poorly, like Eternals, with serious plot holes like Celestials and Tiamat's body hanging out of space. It's quite common in comics to have a reboot, like when new writers take over or there's a change in strategic direction, like DC did with the New 52. Well, in comics, it's a great way to introduce new characters and new readers to the storyline. I think it's more so to sell huge numbers of issue ones because, due to a common misconception, people think that first issues are always more valuable. And it seems like we will be getting a Marvel Comics reboot too, with a new and different Ultimates run called Ultimate Universe. So it's written by Jonathan Hickman and Stefano Caselli, but we'll see how that plays out. And another clean, fresh start in the Marvel Comics once again. Issue 1 of Ultimate Universe is set to come out in November this year. In upcoming movies, Thunderbolts is set to release on December 20th, 2024. The director, Jake Schreier, spoke about how this team is about unique characters and how they work together, like something that feels more personal, as opposed to generic sequels. It won't follow on from anything in particular, but according to him, it should be a great standalone movie. Many of my friends hated Thor: Love and Thunder, and Taika Waititi's comedic style of storytelling. Personally, I loved it. Sure, it was a few too many jokes, but he'll apparently be directing Thor 5. Now, this is why this is a rumor show. Taika reportedly said that the next villain is more powerful than Hela. This fan poster looks amazing though. If it were to be called Battle of the Gods, we could finally see Brett Goldstein's Hercules battle Thor. Hopefully the next movie, if there is one, will be slightly more serious. Even Chris Hemsworth thought the last one was a little silly, but he also said that this might be the last time he plays the role. There's been a good evolution of the character, but he doesn't know if that's now run its course. What was interesting this week is that all the talk around the Benefactor. So you would have remembered he was referenced in previous MCU projects, but he was never named. So I heard that the Benefactor, who's been funding all the criminal activities and pulling all the strings in the background, might be the leader. Now this is exciting for me because it links so many projects, and Disney finally having the rights back for Hulk, they can develop some awesome new content that ties Phase 4 and Phase 5 together better. Let's quickly get into comics, and one character that has future potential and I suppose was in the news recently is Poison Ivy. Now, earlier this week, a fake rumor came out that Dominique McElligott had been cast already, but James Gunn squashed that. I would have loved it to be her because I met her last year and she's awesome. People were talking about Katie Sackhoff, but then she came out saying she would love the role, but she doesn't have an in with James Gunn because Karen Gillan, who played Nebula in James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, she might be in with a shot. And it's kind of like she has one foot in the door already. Either way, this is an iconic character that was first played by Uma Thurman in the 90s. As far as comics go, her first appearance is in Batman issue 181. So it's from 1966, and it's just a brilliant... It's an issue with a lot of future potential, and it has a long way to go before it hits its glass ceiling. It'll always be a Silver Age DC key and command decent values. The simple concept of supply and demand. There wasn't a massive print run of this in 1966, no variants or gimmick selling, so she was an established Batman villain who's right up there with Harley in my opinion. So if you ever wanted to sell this book, you know there'll always be someone wanting it. If you remember, a few weeks ago, I spoke about Lionel Messi calling for Mjolnir, like Thor in Celebration. Well, the explanation is pretty awesome. It was an inside joke with his kids when he played home games. his celebration would be related to the movie they were watching when he got home. So we also saw him do Spidey and Black Panther actions. Now, time for the draws of each prize hamper. Liam will pick 3 names, but each name will get one of the prizes. So starting off with the third prize for the Franco Aureliani Spider-Man original sketch. And the winner is Lyle Pearton. Okay, the next one, the second prize is for another Franco Aureliani piece. This is Moon Knight. And the winner is Tian Berger. And finally then, for the Will Sliney signed Hell to Pay, and the winner is SG Labuskachny. Congrats, winners. Please pop me a message and I will send your prizes to you. I hope to bring you more prizes down the line, and I'm sure I will. I've always got tons of comics. I heard that Tullamore Comic Con will be on the 16th. So I was chatting to the organizers and they were awesome. So there's going to be a cosplay competition, tabletop gaming, stalls with stuff for sale, and exhibition. Well, a whole load. So my next show might just be from there. Oh yes, and the director of Blue Beetle would love Ted Lasso to be Ted Cord in the sequel to the movie that just came out. Till next time, catch you on the side of the flipping. Okay, bye.
Bye.